Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Switchblade TV. Johnny Switchblade here once again. And today we're actually going to be listening in on the Strongblock Q&A that was just released a few minutes ago. So, be right back. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Switchblade TV. Johnny Switchblade here once again. Today we're going to be listening in to the Strongblock Q&A that was just released a few minutes ago. We're going to be listening to it live. Not live, but we're going to be listening to it. And I'm going to be commentating as we go. So let's just get right into it, guys, because it is like 30-some minutes. So let's go ahead, get right in.
Everybody, welcome to a very special Strongblock Q&A session. My name is Saul, and I'm joined here today by Strongblock's lead dev and CEO, David Moss. David, how are you doing today?
Finally.
Hey, I'm doing great, Saul. Thanks
Finally
for
showing
putting
face.
this together. Looking forward to
Not
answering
showing face.
some of these questions and giving a little bit more insight as to what we've been working on.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's great
Started
to be here
listening
today.
to a little bit of this, so
I know everybody's ready to hear from you,
bunch of
so
nonsense so
let's
far.
jump straight on into these questions. Our first question of the day: what does Strongblock's team schedule look like?
The
An
team
unnecessary
schedule.
question.
Well, we've always been an engineering-focused company. So everything that we do revolves around engineering practices. I guess it's a hard habit to break, and it's a good habit to have. And we basically get up every day. We have scrum meetings every day, first thing in the morning, and we divide those up to everybody gets to go. Sometimes we go alphabetically first, alphabetically last, but everybody speaks, and we have representatives from every team. Usually everybody in the company and contractors are on that initial call, and we go over things like from the different teams, the big engineering teams, software engineering, operations, product management, QA, and security support. And we kind of go through each of those and just find out where we are, making sure that they're not.
Yeah, because this is
going
definitely
into,
what we want to know. We
going,
definitely want to know
down
what the
in
heck
the wrong
the team is
direction,
doing
make
on a
sure that they're
day-to-day
making
basis.
good progress, finding out what that progress is, looking at seeing if there are any roadblocks, if they run into something like they just can't solve a particular problem and get
How about
help
scamming people?
on one of the boards. We had something
How about fake
recently
notes?
with Polygon like that, where we didn't get a lot of, we weren't able to quickly get feedback on the Polygon boards regarding something that we've been working on.
Oh no, we're just going to cancel them.
We go through that scrum, then we break up into smaller teams, and everybody works on their issues, etc. We want to make sure that people are staying focused throughout the day, but we also
Staying
want to
focused
make
on
sure
scamming
that
new people.
we get those things done earlier in the day so that people can go back and have big chunks of time. This is what I've done for a long time as an engineer, is to make sure that people have a large chunk of time uninterrupted with no meetings where they can just focus on building. And so, because we've got a lot of stuff to do, we've got node infrastructure that we're working on for a lot of
Node
blockchains
infrastructure.
we need to
Nodes are
maintain,
fake,
that
bro.
always has patches and all sorts of other stuff that we've got to do. We have new nodes we're working on. We have strong chain.
New fake
we
nodes.
have all the other various things that we're working on that people
A
can
chain
do.
that you've been building for
is
God knows how
scrum,
long, supposedly.
meetings, and then just heads down. People are working, and occasionally they're collaborating if they're doing some.
I've seen chains come out,
things like that. But it's basically an engineering focus.
In months. Why does it take so long to build a chain?
People love hearing about what the Strongblock team is up to, and yes, it can be quite a hectic schedule. Speaking of hectic schedules, that segues nicely into our next question. How do you balance leadership with being a developer?
Well, I'm not as much of a
Another
developer
unnecessary
as I
question.
used to be. I'm just not spending as much time on that. I think that my time is more valuable usually working on overall architecture, but I still spend a lot of time working on architecture for what we're doing and considering what kind of functions should be in some of the new stuff that we're doing. And interestingly enough, everybody on our team has a pretty technical background. I think there's only one or two people who weren't already in tech. And so we have a lot of focus on that. And I got a lot of
If you
training
guys
from Oracle
notice,
Corporation early on about how
they
to
turn the comments
both
off
manage your
on
time, get
their YouTube
productive
channel because
work out on the
this is a
engineering
bunch
level,
of
and then also
nonsense, and they know they would
work
get wrecked
with
if they had
others
the
and
the
kind of lead
comments
them.
on.
And we really focus on leading by example,
You know,
where
that's like a
essentially
huge
you're
red
doing the
flag,
work, you're
guys.
showing
When
people what
people
it is you're
have
doing.
their
There's plenty of
comments
time
turned
for
off,
ideas
you
and
know that's a
innovation,
huge red
but
flag.
it's the leadership
That's
part
like
is
red flag
we're pretty
101.
flat as far as our structure. I mean, yeah, I've got a title of founder and everything, but I'm just another person in the Scrum that has a task or tasks assigned to me that I'm working on. And so a lot of this, just the leadership balancing being a developer, everybody here does that. And a lot of people were selected very specifically because they have that ability. Back when I built some previous tech groups, other companies, at other companies, my focus was
Yeah, other
always,
companies that
am
also
I hiring
fell.
somebody who could not only do the work, but could bring other people on, show them how to do the work and lead them. And so that's what we have, is we have a really good team that anytime we're adding new people on or switching gears or moving people around to focus on different things, they're always able to lead, figure out what needs to be done. And people, it's literally like, people are just juggling those things. They may be doing coding and leadership, team building things all on the same day.
Wow, quite a lot of moving parts, and I must say it is a marvel to see so many different teams that get so much stuff done, and they still come together to
What are you
deliver in a
getting
cohesive
done,
manner,
bro?
and it's great to see it
What are they
unfolding
getting
every
done?
day.
We haven't seen
Moving to
anything.
question number 3. The community has noticed your name, David, coming up in a couple of other projects. How heavily are you involved with these other projects, and what can you tell us about them?
Yeah, so he's out there advising
Other
for other
projects. Well,
projects,
I've been
but
involved in crypto full
he's
time
promising us
since,
strong chain. He's
I
been
guess I've been almost
promising
6
strong
years, and
chain
I've done
for
a lot of
years now,
advising, a lot of due
and
diligence. There was a group that I was
he's
involved
over
in
there advising
2017,
people. Like, give it up.
2018, where we reviewed literally dozens of projects. And so some of them asked me to be advisors, some of them I'm just giving background information on. And so I don't really have much involvement with any of them. I've got a couple where I'm theoretically an advisor to the company, but I'm spending maybe a
Let me
total of
advise you on how to
2 or
scam
3
people.
hours a month on all the projects
Step
combined,
1,
where they're just,
build fake
including
notes.
me on, I'm listening in the
Step 2,
background on a meeting or
promise the
something like
world.
that. But I will tell you about some
Step
of the
3,
projects that I'm interested
promise
in and
that your
why I
rewards will
got
never go to
involved.
zero.
One
Step
of them
4,
is
take it
called
all
Bullion
back.
FX, and they have a gold backed token. Sounds crazy. They actually have real gold.
Wow.
Real gold backing this. Yeah, I know it's kind of crazy. Their CEO, and his name is Steve Moss. Same spelling, no relation
Oh
at
God,
all.
another
And
Moss.
when we were first introduced,
Stay
we called each
away.
other brothers from another mother.
Stay
But we
away.
don't have, as far as we know, there's no relation at all.
No DNA test done.
Well, we didn't do any DNA
Stay
testing.
away from all
He
Mosses.
grew up and spends most of his time in Australia, and I've never actually been in Australia. But he has done a lot of work in the gold markets and investment markets in Australia. And one of the things that I'm excited about now that they're really getting going, they've got a lot of infrastructure already put together, is we're talking about incorporating a gold-backed token into Strong Chain.
You don't
That's
have a
all I can
chain,
say.
bro.
Okay, Cosmic Wire.
Build the
They
chain
have an
first
amazing
before you
artistic
start all these
focus. They have
plans.
Banksy, Ruby Mazar. You probably don't know the name of Ruby Mazar, but if you've ever seen the Rolling
Keep
Stones
talking about this
old
chain
band
and
that's still popular,
and all
their
these
Lips,
plans
the
for
guy
this
that did the
chain,
Rolling
and
Stones
nothing's
Lips thing,
happening.
we did work with them with Cosmic
Wow.
Wire. I helped Cosmic Wire very early on when they were getting started. It was a lot of artists and musicians that I knew from a previous life. And they
Previous
brought me in
life.
to help them figure out how to get organized and how to get the understanding and infrastructure put together so that they could work with the artists and make money for them, provide other sources of income for them. And that was something where very early on I helped them. Right now, I'm again just an advisor. I think I'm spending again a very small amount of time. Haven't even talked with them in October yet because they've been out
Yeah,
there
let me
building a whole
spread
bunch of really
myself
cool
real
stuff.
thin so that I can't
went way
focus on my
beyond
own projects.
my
Good
ability to
job,
provide too
Moss.
much useful
Good
advice
job.
at this point, and have done an extraordinary job. There's another company that's called Quantum RE that it's a real estate company, and they have ability to tokenize equity in real estate, and they've been out there for a while as well. I think I became an advisor to them in 2017 or 2018. Well, again, not a lot of. I don't think I've even talked with them directly, just get update emails and stuff this year. And then there's another one
So
that
how are
our
you an
company is working with that
advisor if
happens
you
to be a
just get
group of
update
people that
emails?
I've been
Doesn't make any sense.
I've known for quite a while in the blockchain space. You're going to be hearing about them. I don't want to say too much, but they have a model similar to ours, is rewarding people for providing infrastructure. But this is based on something different, and it's very cool, and it's also has an underpinning of open source. And it's in the open source space, and the user base that they've been working off of that's helped
Yeah, so you can
contribute to
actually
these
see
open
the
source
code.
projects is 40 million people. So we're excited
Thank God
about
it's
that one
open
too.
source.
So those are some of the things that we do, but they don't take up too much time. A lot of it is just coordination, but there also is potential involvement
Show us
later
your
on for
code,
things
Moss.
running on our chain, running
Show
on
us your
Strong Chain, and so
code.
that's why we maintain those particular relationships.
Show us your Ethereum node
Wow,
code.
very interesting
The
stuff.
real
Some
code,
very
not the fake
juicy
code you just put out
tidbits
for
in there, and
everybody.
some, no
Let's
pun
see the
intended,
back end
golden
code,
nuggets
Moss.
of information. I had to.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Thank you. Yeah,
Let's
but
be
I think we're all
transparent.
feeling lucky at Strongblock that we have first dibs on David Moss. Speaking of other projects, that brings us into our next question
Who
here.
would want first
We've
dibs on David
seen
Moss?
a lot of protocols in the crypto space freezing withdrawals, even for some of these well-established projects that
This is
would have
hilarious.
been unthinkable to do so before. Is freezing claims a possibility for Strongblock's future?
Nah, that's one
No,
of the
they
things
just
that we
cap
were
your rewards.
Really
They just
working on
completely
with
wreck your
sustainability,
investment.
and that's the whole
Why
idea
would they
of
need to freeze
sustainability, is
anything? They
having
just
enough
stop it
rewards there.
completely.
There was a point of time when the reason that we switched from strong to stronger, the reason that we put reward caps on, the reason that we buy back tokens is very specifically to make sure that there's always a huge supply. There's an abundant supply of
Yeah,
tokens.
so let's
We're
screw
trying to
over
make
all
sure
our
that there's
previous
also not a lot of them
investors.
going out, but we're also making sure that there's plenty of
It's
supply to
ridiculous.
last for all the things that we want to be able to do. And there's
Yeah,
no
because we
reason
want all
to
your
do that.
money.
We
All
have
that
no
money you guys
financial
invested, we're
basis
going to use it
in
for
them.
other things.
Strongblock doesn't own any stronger tokens. We just have the
No
wallets
ROI?
that control
Tough.
those for various aspects of Strong Chain, etc. We're not going to sell any. There's plenty of tokens available for everybody, and so we've never even considered a freeze.
Yeah, because you stopped
Awesome.
everybody's investment.
I'm
Give it
sure
up.
current rewards earners are glad to hear that. So moving on along the subject lines of the project, you mentioned a play to earn experience a while back. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
Give it up.
Well, I can tell you some of it. We actually have several different projects that we were looking at for play to earn, and this was during the time when we were also seeing the rise of Axie Infinity, when this first really came up. And Axie, actually, we share an investor.
Again, let's spread ourselves so thin so that we can't get any projects done. Let's talk about all these projects that we're trying to do and not release any of them. Good job, guys.
Attacked. $600+ million was taken out. And then also there was this general problem with play to earn that still seems to be a race to the bottom for the token. And so at a certain point, it becomes harder to make it work. What they've done is they've been moving on from play to earn to play to own. So PTE to PTO or P2O. And we're looking at both of those models. We have a separate team that's working on this, that we give them overall design direction, but they're working on it, engineering, and they're already past the prototype stage for this. It incorporates several of the previous ideas that we've been working on, but we believe that has something that's more sustainable, and that's one of the projects that will be on Strong Chain, and it may literally be there right when we launch. We contemplated running it on another chain and thought, well, that doesn't bring any sort of value extraction back to everybody who's contributing, all the people that are staking stronger tokens,
the imaginary
staking
chain
for validators, etc. So short answer, yes, we are building one, and that we're building essentially I guess it's a reusable template for being able to build others like this with models that we think that will be very interesting for people, and they're also fun. There's an aspect of funness for this, but this is, again, it's not something that our engineering team is spending its full time on. We have a separate team working on that, but it's still very exciting, and I like seeing the progress on that one.
Well, great to hear there's a lineup in the works for StrongChain. I'm sure everyone's eager to see what this experience is going to be like. Moving on into a different segment of the protocol, what can you tell us about the future of nodes as a service?
Nodes and NAS. Well, some people said that NAS is dead, and I would say, well, NAS is not dead, it's just changing. And the whole idea of infrastructure DeFi, which is where we kind of sit here, there's a lot of different people that have done infrastructure DeFi projects after we launched Nodes as a Service in December 2020. And actually, we're coming up on 2 years here. There's been a lot of things out there. What we're seeing is changing and morphing. And what we're doing is looking at ways that this can be more, given the huge dramatic changes in the market, the more than $2 trillion lost from the marketplace in crypto, and
whatever happened to
volume
Newbie
down for everything.
No more talks about Newbie, guys. What's up with that?
Last time I heard, I think we talked about this in Scrum a couple of weeks ago. Last time we heard, there was at least 12,000 projects out there that had completely stopped doing any trading at all. Their projects essentially gone. Yeah, so there's been a lot of that there. So what we did, though, is we built a lot of flexibility into how we're doing things, especially with entangled nodes. And so we can change parameters
flexibility
when we launch something. And so we are coming out very soon with Polygon Entangled. And it's going to have low fees and accelerated rewards. And those are two of the variables.
Yeah, but they're still capped. So what's the point of accelerated rewards if they're capped?
That can be changed over time.
It doesn't make any sense.
And so that's one of the things that we're looking at is, how do we, in this new environment, make it interesting for people to still participate? And we believe that this next offering actually addresses that pretty specifically, along with the other stuff.
Yeah, how do we attract new investors?
Node maintenance fees,
because we screwed all our old ones.
This is kind of the future of that, and there will be a place for nodes as a service on StrongChain, along with validators as a service.
You're not validating anything if the nodes are fake, bro.
This is something that we're working on under wraps, but we're looking at decentralized storage, and there's a way for people to support and earn from that as well. And so I won't. That's for future discussions, future things.
That's for future Q&A.
Okay,
decentralized storage.
Okay, that's plenty on that. But again, it's a logical thing, right? We've been working on something like this for quite a while, even back at...
See, all these things that people are talking, that Strongblock is talking about, if you're a developer out there, go out there and actually build these things. Show them that you guys can build these things quick. I'm not necessarily saying quick, but faster than what they're talking about, just to prove that they're a scam.
Continuing its new releases. On that same note, how do you see Strongblock moving into the future and evolving as a company?
Well, this is now you're getting more serious on me. We're an engineering team, and the way that I've been looking at blockchain and the whole blockchain space, I remember writing something. I had a whole bunch of proposals out there, different white papers that I helped groups write. Some of them have gone somewhere. Some of them are still, languishing. People haven't built them yet. But what's happened is that the whole space is very, very early still. Who would have thought back 4 or 5 years ago that Ethereum would be the predominant blockchain? I mean, everybody complained. I was building EOS, and everybody there said, oh, yeah, it's going to be the Ethereum killer, and everything was going to be the Ethereum killer. And yet, like NAS, Ethereum is not dead. Everybody uses it. It's the basis for
nobody ever said Ethereum was dead.
Does out there. And there are a lot of good Ethereum.
Not one single person.
There, but we don't believe that there are any established blockchains except Ethereum to this point that everyone will rely on. And the thing is, even
AVAX is still around,
which we had to do a lot of engineering to make sure that we had that ready to go. By the way, to make sure that we were compliant, the gas fees are up. That's one of the things that even I'm a little bit baffled by. But I think that there's a lot fewer miners out there, so that could be one of the explanations. But gas fees are up, and the energy consumption is down. That's good. transactions, they were never supposed to speed up that much. These are future things that they're doing. So there's a whole bunch of opportunity to move to other chains or side chains or cross chains and all sorts of other stuff. And so we're looking at building a purpose-built chain. That's really how we're evolving, is building a purpose-built chain, not
Bro,
a
just
general
put the
purpose
chain
chain that
out
everyone's
already.
one size fits all. It's good for everybody, because that's boiling the ocean, being all things to all people.
A lot of promises.
Really,
you've been making these promises for years
even with
now.
Ethereum being all things to all people has huge limitations, but we love it, but it's what we have. It's like the whole thing about where everybody's building on what we started doing with Ethereum. And I'm sure Vitalik, when he was putting all this together, when he was 20 years old, didn't think, wow, this is going to be what everybody is going to be using, and it's going to be the main. Well, he did think that to a certain extent, but he didn't think that it would take over this much. And so you get a standard out there, and it just keeps going. And sometimes, there's the thing about the reason that wheels are a certain amount of part on a car is based on all the way back to Roman carts, and it was 2 horses' asses wide. Is how literally. So basically, it's based on horses' asses. Is how wide you need it to be in order to get through things. And they built their bridges like that, and the aqueducts and all, and the roads and all sorts of other things like that. But our focus has always been not to boil the ocean, but to come up with a chain that allows everybody to participate in the fees and revenue that are generated by parts of the ecosystem. And so we'll build some of those dApps ourselves, like NAS, validators, decentralized storage that I mentioned, and then provide grants for others to build on that. So that's what we see.
Yeah, grants with all your investors' money. You're going to give out grants.
There's a lot of questions about
for money. You guys
DAOs
screwed
work,
people over.
how governance is supposed to work, but
that's music to our ears. Thanks.
The same goal that we've always been going for is eventual decentralization. And giving more and more control and power over to everybody who's working.
So basically, you're trying to give out this money that you scam people over for, so you don't have to pay it back. Got it.
Identified all the possible exploits. I mean, we were talking in Scrum today about an exploit where there's a team exchange or something like that, where people are holding tokens. They hold tokens for people that are being released over time. Somebody came in and took $14 million out of it. Wow. So there's a lot to be done yet, and so we really focus on that stuff. So I think that's the biggest thing. We're evolving in the same way that we've been evolving before, but our real focus right now is building that chain and making sure that it's out there.
That's always been your focus, bro.
I'm sure that'll be replayed.
What are you evolving to? They're just saying a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, you get stuck with a standard.
Right, exactly.
They're like politicians, They say a lot without saying anything at all. Just stringing people along.
How Strongblock is poising itself to move forward into the future. I really liked what you said about engineering. That people love hearing the tech stuff. So why don't we talk a little more about that? How does the engineering on nodes differ between protocols?
They're fake.
Certain chains or protocols that are more difficult to engineer for than others?
Well,
no, they're just real.
Their challenges. I started off myself, before EOS was even built, working on Ethereum and building out various versions of that chain. And you can launch a basic Ethereum virtual machine relatively quickly, actually making it work.
Yeah, because they're fake.
Lots of people using it with decentralized validators. Completely different thing, and it's then different with each chain, because Polygon, for example, has multiple different chains. They've got all these different things that they use, for example. So there's a huge difference between that and Ethereum POS. And we've got one of our guys that leads the team that works on Polygon and some of the other node compatibility stuff, and there's a lot of moving parts to Polygon that just aren't there in regular Ethereum. And there's a reason for that, but there's also some problems. Same with Phantom, Polkadot, AVAX, Avalanche, etc. Each one of them has some really startling differences. We used to, in software engineering, go by the Pareto principle, right? The 80-20 rule, where 80% of a blockchain or 80% of a project could be ported to another hardware environment, and then you just write 20% new stuff in a different hardware environment to differences in the hardware. That isn't this. It's a lot. It's not just the hardware. It's literally what the system contracts look like. The way that system contracts are used on each of these chains is different. The way that they employ the validation and consensus is different, and the different supporting chains. Some of them have multiple different chains. There's not one chain, but 3 chains or 4 chains running, and so there's a lot of differences between each of these. And then we want to make sure that they're actually going to be around. And so when we're looking at this, when we're figuring out even how to do this, we also want to make sure that not only it's the difficulty, we'll just take that on, but we started and stopped a whole bunch of chains, dozens of different chains, where we found that there wasn't going to be a lot of adoption, or there wasn't enough difference, or there was too much difference. So yeah, this is all engineering. That's still the core of
I feel like people have been spending more time on these graphics than anything.
Even just for Ethereum POS,
They always have these elaborate graphics, but they don't put out anything else.
You have a half an hour to implement them, or basically your validators are going to halt. So yeah,
Your validators are fake.
A lot of different things like alerts and other things to keep us going. So a lot of engineering stuff. So yeah, it's each one we have to build in special things to be able to notify us if there are issues, and that everything is still running correctly, and keep a whole bunch of backups, keep hot backups going, and all sorts of other stuff. And anyway, it's actually the engineers absolutely love it. I used to, I still enjoy it. I just can't get into it too much. If I do, then we go down these rabbit holes, and then we don't get anything done.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get anything done.
Labor of love, because the things I see coming from our engineering team make my head spin. So, especially the everyday upkeep and maintenance is very involved.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah.
Right.
Upkeep of what?
On the same train of thought, in the crypto community, we've seen countless projects.
You've canceled over 500,000 nodes, fake nodes. What are you upkeeping?
How has Strongblock managed to avoid these?
We both need to knock on wood when you say that.
Yeah,
knocking on wood.
I'm knocking over here too.
Yeah. Well, and this is something that we always worry about. We have some people on our team that have pretty good backgrounds in intelligence and security, and we take a very strong defensive stance. And what we say is we're not paranoid. People are out to get us, and so we have a lot of different kinds of things that happen on a regular basis.
People are out to get us.
Checks all the time for people trying to do DDoS, SQL injections, all the usual stuff. And then we also have things underlying that on the code, but where most of the big exploits have come from is essentially you're giving out private keys to a contract, or allowing them to be stored and accessed so that you can use them in order to be able to grant some things. Even if you're just doing it on signature authority, where you're allowing them to use the signature without actually accessing the keys, that still can be a dangerous thing. And again, I don't want to get too deep into all this stuff here, but a lot of the exploits come down to where and how private keys are stored and accessed, and then missing safeguards to limit the damages if they're breached. That's usually where this comes in, right? So we even developed, for example, a bridge a while back, specifically a Polygon. We did Polygon, Phantom, and was it BSC? I think we did Polygon, Phantom, and BSC bridge that was built, and we were going to release it. And then all of these different hacks started happening, and we had actually already seen what we thought were the big exploit points in each of these, and even then, it wasn't. Those weren't the places that. Matter of fact, those were some of the places that actually got hit. Were the places that we thought would get hit, and then some of them were places we didn't even know. So that was kind of part of the big demise, right? If you think about it, before the Terra Luna catastrophic drop and Celsius bankruptcy and all these other various things, there was the Ronin Bridge. Remember the Ronin Bridge?
Yes.
What, $600 billion? That was for Axie Infinity, and a lot of it was, is it preventable?
So instead of focusing on their chain, they're focusing on all this other stuff.
Being accessible by any other project, any other person, and then how do you make all that stuff work? We have protocols that won't even tell you what the protocols are, or even hint at what they are. But today, the state of the art stuff and figuring out how to protect us. And
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What was that? Yeah, we kind of got cut off, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this video. And we're almost done. We're almost done, guys. We only got probably about 11 more minutes or something.
We want to make sure that we have everything running that we can, but that's actually set back the community quite a bit. We saw Harmony recently came out and said that they were, they talked about their $100 million exploit and that they've done a bunch of things to be able to make it more secure in the future. And
Harmony
that's
was a
really
good
cool
project.
because you shouldn't be brought down just because one of these things happened and something that even the auditors didn't catch. But it takes a lot to recover and gain trust. So anyway, that's
you guys aren't gaining trust, guys. You guys are not gonna.
Out there.
I'm sorry. You screwed over way too many people. We're trying our best
to make sure we avoid those, and we take a very active stance.
You definitely don't regain trust by turning off all your comments on every platform. That's
Great
what
to
you
know that
don't
our
do.
community's been so well secured and is being watched over. Let's move on to a different line of questioning here. Strongblock has made a name for itself through its innovative nodes reward platform. Can we expect more innovations in the future?
Well, that's like asking, what's Eminem's next hit? And it's like, well, I don't know. It's like, is it going to be a hit? Is it going to be a record? And he's going to drop something and it's going to be a hit? Hard to say, but we keep hoping that the things that we're working on are innovative and will have something new in them. There's a lot of times nothing that's that new under the sun, but at the same time, what our focus is really getting things out that really have high quality. And innovation for us takes a fair amount of time. We started off as a blockchain as a service company. And before blockchain as a service was really a thing, as a matter of fact, it's just now kind of becoming a thing. And so we were pretty early for that. So I don't ever worry about us innovating. We also want to make sure that we innovate so that people can actually use it.
So where is that? Where's blockchain as a service? Where are people utilizing
really
this?
About the timing, how we're doing. Well, actually, no. Let me flip that. It's not about the
timing. Who has built a blockchain through your protocols?
High quality work. And so innovation.
You don't even have a blockchain.
We're going to come up with something that's going to really, truly, break the mold. We just keep working on stuff that we think people need, and a lot of that is to, trying to figure that out. We do a lot of skunkworks development projects. A lot of that never gets released. We have so much software. Some things we're actually going to be picking back up. It turns out that the bridge that we built that was out there, we didn't release because of all these other things. A lot of the code looks like it still holds up, but we're going to put it through a lot of stress testing. But we need one or more bridges to be able to get in and out of strong chain. So we're going to keep doing that. We need
more of your money.
That's not innovation. Making it work is just taking quality time. We think strong chain itself has innovations in it. We think that there's some stuff on there. Basically, we're also working with other companies that are doing this kind of stuff, like the one I mentioned early on. I think they're doing an announcement in the next week or so. We talked to them just a couple of days ago. We think that they're going to be pretty big, but we're just trying to make sure that we're doing good work. We're taking our time. People have been asking about, well, when's Strong Chain coming out? Your roadmap said this other thing. It's going to be coming out at the end of this year. It's like, well, that was before all of this other stuff happened. And there's a lot of stuff that happened. Before we screwed you guys over and had to hide out. And also what we found is a lot of the stuff that we were working on for innovation for Strong Chain, in some cases, the things that we thought were either going to work or going to result in something other people did, they released them, they failed or were exploited. And so we said, oh, wait a minute. Okay, so let's go back and rethink this. So we keep building things, building prototypes, building test nets, running them in the background and then running exploits on them and running things on there to do what used to be called Gatling tests and things like that on them to make sure that they can withstand it. And we're not done. We're still innovating on that. So we're aiming for 2023 for Strong Chain, and we're going to release it when the quality is there and people can participate and get what the people that have been especially loyal in the community that will be able to really participate, get the value, unlock the value from doing that.
We were all loyal.
We're really focusing.
We were all loyal
right
until you screwed us
sure
over.
It has the right quality, and with all the things that have happened, with all the exploits and all the
promoted you
different
hard.
chains that everybody thought would be so wonderful and cool but aren't, we're not going back completely to the drawing board, but we are trying not just one, but several new approaches right now.
True, innovation can't be rushed. Let's zoom out a little bit. What are some things you hope to change about the crypto space, you and the Strongblock team?
Well, it would be nice if everything worked and wasn't and was secure.
We're changing
And
what we tell
so
you guys. That's what we're doing.
I mean, this goes back to my basic philosophy. I want to have something that makes people's lives better. It's not it's like not make millions, but make
Wow.
millions of lives better. Make things more
You
secure, make them
ruined
less
lives.
expensive. There's all
You want to
sorts of
make
things
lives
about
better,
the
but
things
yet
we
you
were excited about
ruined a
early on,
lot
like
of people's
cross-border
lives?
payments and all that kind of
Seriously?
stuff. Those are the
Why would
things
you
that
even
we're
say
really
that?
interested in about. So what I want to see in the crypto space is that this space starts maturing and solutions come out that people are using on an everyday basis that are actually
Wow.
making a difference in their lives.
Wow.
Like I said,
Yeah, you made a lot of
life,
differences in
millions
a
of
lot
lives
of
better,
people's
more
lives
secure,
by
less
screwing them
expensive.
over. That is
That's what I'm
horrible.
hoping to see in this space.
Wonderfully said. We're coming to the
David
end of
Moss, you
our
make me
Q&A
sick,
session
bro.
here. Is there any closing thoughts you'd like to leave our community with?
Well, we know that things have been really rough out there.
No
for the entire crypto
accountability.
blockchain
No
space, right?
accountability.
It's been pretty awful, and you've seen, as I mentioned, 12,000 plus, probably more than that, 12,000 altcoins that no longer even trade.
Crazy.
There's a whole bunch of things that you never ever thought. Algorithmic stable coins, literally going down to zero. All these things that you didn't expect, and so it's been really, really rough. And the drop in price of the overall market and the drop in value of the overall market has been catastrophic. It's happening in the stock market too. There's been all sorts of different disruptions. There's a lot of things out there, and so for me, we're just really looking. I've got to say I'm really looking and taking direct notice of the people who have continued to support our project, and I know we do watch that. And we want to make sure that you're recognized as we move to strong chain. That's what we're building it for.
Oh, give it
We're
up.
building it so that there is something innovative. There is something
If
that
you
can
were
actually
watching, you
support
would see all the
people
lives
so
you
that
guys
Nodes
destroyed.
as a service is built in, not something that we have to reward.
Not one
by just
mention,
giving
not
out
one
tokens, but can be
word.
built in from the rewards from the chain. None of the other chains that we tried working with were willing to be able to do that, to build that into their software.
Where are
So
those questions?
let me
Where are
say it
those
again. We know that
answers?
things are really rough out there, and we're building.
Not a
We're gonna
peep out
keep
of you
building.
guys.
We have innovations
And you
up our
continue
sleeves.
to
We want
string
to make sure
people
we
along
recognize all the
without
people
talking
that have
about any
continued
of
to
this
support
stuff.
us. And that's literally built into what we're doing for Strong Chain. That's why we're doing it the way that we're doing it. And so we're going as I never say we're going as fast as we can, because that means that we're like, trying to go 90 miles an hour in a 60-mile zone. What we're really doing is we're focusing on, are we building something that's going to be around for a while? And the fact that Nodes as a service that we created has been around for almost 2 years, that's something. We expect it to be around for a while, but we want to build something that's
2
really
years and
innovative
over
and
$8
going to be
million
there for
a
blockchain. You
year,
know
a
what?
month
Let's
in
innovation
fees.
thing. I know you
What are
brought
you
that up a
doing with
couple
all
of
the
times.
money, Moss?
I'm even less interested in innovation in the blockchain than I am in making
$8
sure that
million a
people can
month.
participate in something that actually works and provides benefit to them. As I said before, that
And all we get is
essentially
graphics.
makes it so that they're able to have a better life, a more secure life,
A better
a less
life?
expensive life, especially with everything going on. So that's really my closing thought, is that we
Wow.
are building this for the future, and we are interested in innovation, and innovation and development takes time, but we are building this very
Wow.
specifically for the people who have supported us, and we're looking forward to showing you what we have.
That's
There's
pretty much
stuff
it.
coming out pretty soon. Like I said, you'll see Polygon entangled nodes coming out very quickly. So
Yeah,
anyway,
32
that's it.
seconds.
Well,
You know what? I'm at a loss for words, guys. Wow. To talk about, to promote that you want to change lives for the positive, when in the background you're over here destroying people's lives. People took out loans. People, refinanced their houses. Like, wow. Wow. They did all these things based on your promises. And then you just completely change everything on everybody, when knowing damn well you told us you would at least give us notification, well in advance if you changed anything. And you didn't. You didn't at all. You just one day, made an announcement that you're stopping everything. This is ridiculous. You literally destroyed lives, and you're talking about, changing lives. That I'm legit sick to my stomach. Moss, you're a con. You are a con, and one of the worst. Wow. Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you talk about that? I don't know, guys. That's going to do it for today, guys. This is just too ridiculous. And I know this video is getting kind of long, so wow. I'm just in shock. Anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment down below. Do all those things that the YouTubers tell you to do. And we will see you next time. Peace!